we begin in the Middle East. President Trump says the U.S. is not currently negotiating with Iran and says no talks are scheduled. Trump made the announcement on social media about 30 minutes ago. He says the U.S. naval blockade remains in full effect. The Strait of Hormuz is open and operating, and he claimed all mines have been removed or detonated. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes joins us now. So we've been here before, Nancy. And I think I said that to you literally the last time I talked to you, that we've been here before. I mean, where do we go from here if no talks are happening?
That is a great question, Kelly. The president, in that statement that he made on Truth Social, said that the Strait of Hormuz is open. I don't think most world leaders would say that it is open if your definition of open is the free flow of commercial traffic into and out of the Persian Gulf. He also said that all the mines have been removed from the strait. That's the first time that we have gotten that indication. So there are a lot of questions about that. But you're right. If the president is saying no talks are happening, the Iranians are saying no talks are happening, the president's son, Jared Kushner, is saying no talks are happening, then what happens next? President Trump had been claiming for weeks that some kind of deal was close at hand. It never appeared that that was actually the case. And he continues to insist that the real goal here is to get rid of Iran's nuclear ambitions. But that's virtually impossible to do if they are not engaged in any diplomatic talks at all.
All right, let's talk about the U.S.'s peace plan for Gaza, Nancy. That is also hitting roadblocks. We know President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, met with the Israeli prime minister yesterday. We also know that it was reported, at least, that he met with members of, I guess, the folks who are negotiating on behalf of Hamas. What's the latest there?
So a notable couple of days of talks. The fact that Kushner sat down with the leader of Hamas in Egypt was really striking. And then there was some positive commentary coming from the Israeli side after he met with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday. What they did not do was embrace the latest U.S. proposal for a ceasefire, however, a ceasefire that would ultimately lead to the demilitarization of Hamas and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. They currently control about 60% of Gaza. So, a good sign that there is some diplomacy going on and that there are high-level discussions going on, but no major breakthrough to report yet.
Nancy, while we have you, I also want to ask, there's a growing feud between the White House and Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff. He's up for re-election. He took several hits at the president while speaking to voters over the weekend. Yes, he did. And they were very personal in some ways. Ossoff bringing up the president's desire to build a ballroom. He said that the president simply wants to fly around on Air Force One instead of doing the work of the American people. And the White House reacted very harshly to all of that. Yesterday, they called him a loser. They called him a miserable person who hates this country. And so Ossoff has another speech scheduled for midday today. And the question is, will he double down? Will he back off? But there really seemed to be something of a shot across the bow from the White House to try to discourage Ossoff from talking the way that he did in his speech over the weekend about the president. So I'm very curious to see where he takes it from here. Yeah, there's also been a lot of questions after those comments. Is he running in 2028? He says no, but certainly set up, yes, running for president. Certainly set up a nice back and forth there, which would help in that situation potentially. Nancy, really appreciate it.